Hey tappers. In my work as a clinical EFT practitioner, I come across these two pitfalls often, and I want you to be aware of them and know what you can do about them. Let's talk about toxic positivity and spiritual gaslighting. Let's start with toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is when you feel like you absolutely have to remain positive or else you're only going to call negative to you, or else you're never going to get the positive thing that you want, or else you might mess it up. I understand where this comes from. I blame so much on the misunderstanding of the law of attraction. However, you will never convince your brain to release the importance of this negative thing if you don't address it first. Because to your brain, this negative thing is the truth. That is the truth of where you are. And until you say, okay, this is the truth of where I am, but I'm safe right now. This is the truth of what I believe, but my life is not in danger. This is the truth of what I believe, but maybe there's another way to look at it. If you don't meet your brain in where it is, it's going to be dismissed, especially if it's tied to your survival mechanism, which if you're that afraid of it, it probably is. So what can you do to release toxic positivity? Well, first of all, listen to yourself. When you tap and you think about the positive things that you're saying, listen, and see if anything pops up afterwards. See if anything says, oh, I'm so grateful that I've reached a place where I don't have to think about that anymore. Or I'm still really angry. That gives you the thing that you can tap on then. And it doesn't mean that you're not happy, that you're not grateful, that the positive things that you have don't exist. It just means it's not the only thing that's there. And you do deserve to pay some attention to the negative bits that still need to be released. Moving on, spiritual gaslighting. Now, I'm using the term spiritual very broadly here. Pretty much anything that's seen as like an energetic way of processing something is falling under the term spiritual for this purpose. So often when we are struggling in something that's long-term, that's mysterious, that's complicated, that continues to come back to us no matter what it is that we've tried, we tend to start blaming ourselves. And likely we've had a lot of other people saying, well, if you would just, well, if only you could, if we're different this way or different that way, then. And that's where this spiritual gaslighting comes in, because even though it's extremely valid to always address your emotions and to be able to tap yourself into a better place, sometimes the answers really do lie in a physical plane or in a lack of knowledge that you're going to come across or that you have come across and now it's in front of your face and you're going, this is not what I was expecting. So what can you do about spiritual gaslighting? Pay attention to whether or not what you're thinking, feeling, or acting on feels empowering. If it doesn't, then ask yourself why. And that could be a really good beginning of a conversation as to how you might be being gaslit even by yourself in this situation. I know I've covered these topics very broadly. I'm going to leave it at that unless you tell me you want more. Then I'll give you more. I could separate the topics. We could do a specific tapping on it. You can ask me questions that I'll answer about them. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you've got the broad topics and check mark and we can move on. You let me know. I'll see you soon.